Mourning greatness awakens your own greatness. We have a special minhag in many Farhi shuls on the day of Yom Kippur, before we read the Torah. We talk about we have a special song. The Zohar tells us to sing a song that's going to make us cry before we read the parasha about Yom Kippur, and before we read about Acharei Mot Shnei Bnei Aaron, after the two sons of Aaron died, and the Torah commands us about the day of Yom Kippur, of how the Kohen is supposed to come to the Holy of Holies. Right before that, we're supposed to talk about Nadav and Avihu's passing and cry over the loss of Nadav and Avihu. And we are promised that if we do that, then no sin can stop our prayers from piercing the heavens. The forgiveness is so great when we mourn the greatness of these two great men, Nadav and Avihu, that we will have all of our sins forgiven. How does that make sense? Why are those tears going to wipe away all of our sins from the past and help us build a great future just because we're crying over a great man? We know that this is a concept that we have in our religion about the importance of mourning great men. We know that we find it by Rabbi Akiva's students. And specifically in these days of Sfirat HaOmer, we're supposed to mourn them. We know that the Jewish nation suffered tremendously because they didn't mourn the passing of Shaul HaMelech enough. Why is it so important that we mourn great people in our religion? And the answer is because when you mourn the greatness of others, it awakens the greatness inside of you. If you read biographies about great men of the past, then you are going to awaken inside yourself the great messages of the values of how these people lived. It's going to give you a new version of normal. And that's going to also give us the motivation to be the great people that we could become. This concept we know is so great that when we say throughout our prayers, throughout the Sedichot, we say Rahmana. What we're really referring to is Rachem Nun Aleph. Have pity because of the loss of Nadav and the loss of Avihu. And these two great men, when we think about them, we feel the loss of these great men, we realize that imagine how the world would have been if we had not only Moshe and Aaron, but two men who were even greater than them, Nadav and Avihu. The reason why they died wasn't because they did something wrong, it was because they were jumping too high spiritually and too fast without the proper guidance of a rabbi. And the fact that these two great men, if we would have had them, imagine we had not wherever we are today is because we had Moshe and Aaron. Imagine we had greater rabbis than Moshe and Aaron leading the Jewish people like Nadav and Avihu. Imagine that we didn't just have Rabbi Akiva and his 5 students, Rishon Bar Yochai, Rabbi Meir, Yehuda Bar Ilai, and Rabbi Nechemiah. We didn't have only those students who gave us the Mishnah, the Zohar, the Midrash, the Tosefta. We didn't only have those. Imagine we had 24,000 students like that. We're not mourning the loss of these rabbis. We're mourning the greater person that we could have become. And this is a lesson for how do you become a great person? By realizing and feeling bad, not of the things that you did wrong, but to mourn and to regret the person that I could have became. And when you realize this, that gives you power, that gives you strength, that gives you something to look forward to. It gives you a goal, it gives you a vision of greatness. Don't ever sell yourself short. Have a great day.